Hello and welcome to another World of Tanks video with me, Sir 10 Death. The Christmas boxes are out and they're causing a bit of a stir because there's a chance of getting the elusive Type 59. Some people are wondering, is it actually worth investing in though? So I've bought myself a batch of 75 of them and I'm going to open these and show you what I get. I have sped up the video because it's pretty boring watching all of these, but I'll let you know at the end what I get in total and therefore whether it's actually worth the money, assuming you don't get one of these rare tanks at all. And let's see what happens then. So I'm going to go rattling through these, doing kind of a commentary on the way, but you can see for yourselves what pops up in here. So I bought 75 of the Chinese ones, so we're getting some cash and some gold there. Gold, yep, premium day and gold. Yep, more gold and cash. It seems to be a bit of a common theme, this getting either 250 or 500 gold, which is not too bad, it's not too shabby. The odd premium day creeping in here and there. In every single one of them you also do get a tier 5 decoration for your garage, which means you can get your garage up to level 10 pretty quick. There's actually an inscription there as well, which therefore means it helps your normal tanks to earn more credits or more experience as well. So there's a little bit of an edge to that there. So it's the normal theme at the minute, just getting more gold and cash and premium time from time to time. Nothing too spectacular happening here. Things are looking pretty bland so far. The primary reason, let's have a look how we're doing here. Yep, still much of the same things now. And I've slowed this one down because this one was the first one that came out as a bit of an unusual one, and it's the T26E5. Now I actually already have the Patriot and have had for some time now, but therefore it's obviously possible to get the one that's the regular version as well. So that was a bit of a nice surprise. I mean, that's a tier 8 heavy tank. That's worth a bit of money there. Another inscription there, or the insignia. Sorry, should I say? Yep, so we'll get a few of these bits and pieces here now. Nothing else really to buy so far. The primary reason I actually went for this, apart from doing a video, was to do with the fact that my initial reaction, as I suppose most people's was, this was another little surprise coming up here. I actually got the AC1 Sentinel, which is the only tier 4 tank that I didn't already have as well, because I already have the T26E with... T28 with F30 gun, and I already have the Panzer B2 as well. So that was quite nice to get the Sentinel as well, though I've never played it. Now my initial reaction, as I was saying, is probably the same as most people, that the chance of getting a Type 59 is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be 1 in 5,000 or something. And that was my honest opinion. I wasn't going to throw any money at this. I wasn't going to give Wargaming the satisfaction, no matter how much I actually wanted a Type 59. But then, two people in the clan that I'm in both got Type 59s within 25 boxes. Now either they're the two luckiest people on the planet, or actually the rarity of the Type 59 is not super rare, more uncommon almost. So with that in mind, I thought I'm going to have a punt at this here, but I also did want to get a video out to see whether the general stuff that you're getting from each box day in, day out is actually worth it or not. I am keeping a running total, by the way, of how many gold, how many credits, how many premium days, etc., and see if it all stacks up at the end and it turns out to be worth it or not. So we've gone through quite a lot of these Chinese boxes now, and yeah, so other than getting a couple of inscriptions, a couple of insignias, I got that T26E5 Patriot, which is nice, because a typical tier 8 heavy tank, premium tank's about, it's about £40, isn't it really? So that's been half the cost of the entire lot of boxes as well, so that's probably in itself almost made this worthwhile, but it is of course gambling. That's one thing worth noting here. This is gambling. This is spending money on the chance of getting something you might get. I am not under any circumstances recommending that you should gamble, that you should give Wargaming your money. I am simply showing you the possibilities that could happen. Okay, I want to make it very, very clear. I'm not telling people to go and spend their money. We live in a day and age where money is quite hard to come by for a lot of people, and it's not worth just throwing it out there on the off chance that you get very lucky. So just thought I'd put that out there as a little bit of a disclaimer. So this is winding up to an end now. I've only got a handful of boxes left, and the elusive Type 59 sadly is not coming my way, it doesn't seem. No. I have had a few more of these, you see ones like that one there where I've got another tier 4 tank popping up, because that's why you get the compensated with 1200 gold as well. So yep, that's it, that's the end of them. Now whether this is madness or stupidity, I then decided to go and get myself another 75, this time different set. And because I thought I can't be that unlucky, can I? So I decided to plot on again, and as normal, it was going through the normal routine. More small amounts of gold, more cash, more premium days. There's a tier 4 tank there again, which has been compensated for. So my amount of gold is going up nicely, which I don't really mind because of the unified account system. I am intending on buying a couple of tier 8 planes in World of Warplanes, and this will fund them nicely. And of course, it's always quite nice to have for nice camo packages, inscriptions, insignias, that kind of stuff. Having said all of that, since 9.21 came out, you can now buy camouflage for any of your tanks you want to keep for an extended rental period of 75,000 gold for 100 battles, which is really quite nice. I mean, you basically get 750 gold per battle, so unless you have a diabolically awful game, you're always covering the cost of your camo, so you no longer have to spend gold on camo anymore in World of Tanks, really, unless you want a particularly fancy one. So I'm still plodding on here, still getting, there's another inscription, there's another garage slot, which means I've got a tier 4 tank coming out there. And I am beginning to think to myself, actually, you know what, I believe I am probably the least lucky person on the planet here, because I will ultimately have opened 150 of these boxes, and other than getting that T26C5 and that AC1 Sentinel and a handful of other tier 4 tanks, then that's going to be it for me. And yeah, it does look as though these boxes are paying for themselves, and as I said at the end of the video, I will discuss the total amounts that I actually got and whether they are really worth having or not. You can buy these box packages in sets of 3, I believe, or 11s or 25s, or the big one's 75, but the 75 boxes does cost €100, or about £82 thereabouts. So yeah, I've spent quite a lot of money on these, and it's very much looking like it's not going to pan out for me. It's not going to be my day. Well, I'm one of the people that actually started playing World of Tanks when the Type 59 was still available, and just didn't really know enough about it to realise that it was last opportunity to get it. So by the time I'd got into the game, and it had long since gone, and I've kind of sought after one ever since, largely because of its, I wouldn't use the word rarity, there's quite a few of them around, a lot of people have been playing a number of years, but more its exclusivity, the fact that it's difficult to come by now, and of course it had a recent buff. It is now considered to be a pretty effective, it used to be considered very overpowered medium tank at tier 8, then it got surpassed by several others. Now it's been made to be effective, if not wonderful again. So we're almost winding towards the end of these second set of boxes now, and things are not going my way. Pretty disappointed about this, not very happy at all. To be honest, at this point I'm cursing Wargaming, regretting spending money, and really sick of everything. Yeah, really quite cheesed off with the whole idea of this. And then this happened. There it is. There's that beauty, and isn't she a beauty there? I have just secured for myself arguably the rarest tank in the game. Now, some people might argue with that and say, oh, but the Panzer 2J is rarer. I've actually got one of those. I hate it. Or some people might say that the Mutant, which was on sale a couple of days ago, is rarer. Possibly, but in terms of how the fact that you can never buy this again, you can only win it, then I think it probably is the rarest tank to get hold of these days anyway. I'm not saying it's the one that's least common in the game, but to get hold of, hardest to do in my opinion, and I'm delighted I've got that. So just finish off these last 3 or 4 boxes. That was box number 147, I believe, out of 150, which is ridiculous. There it is, jumping into the garage. There it is in all her beauty. Wow, loving it. Yeah, so in total, what did I get in the end? Then I'm just going to cut to a final scene here and let you know how I did overall, how it all panned out to be. So I've used all of my Chinese decorations up now and got my fancy Chinese camo and dumped it onto the tank. In totals, what did this come out as then? Well, 80 premium days, 8.8 million credits, 5 emblems, 10 inscriptions, 67,700 gold, 13 tier 4 tanks and those 2 tier 8 tanks. All in, basically, in my opinion, that lot, if you had to buy it all separately, would cost you around about £360 or €400, where the boxes themselves cost about half that. So you could argue the boxes are worth their money, generally speaking. The luck factors involved, of course. You can't guarantee ever getting the tier 8 or even the tier 4 premium tanks, but even without that, if we take that aside, the boxes do seem to be at least paying for themselves, if not earning a bit extra. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll keep them coming. Have a good Christmas. Goodbye.